you guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I thought today we would talk about a little bit about my diagnosis of PMDD, or pre-menstrual dysphoric disorder. A little bit about how I was diagnosed, some of my symptoms, the symptoms that I can remember right off, and the symptoms that I don't remember. I'll have a link to a website that lists all 11 symptoms and things like that down in the description below. So I was diagnosed with PMDD earlier this year. My original mental health diagnosis from my counselor, or from the therapy center that I go to, was generalized anxiety disorder, because I knew I had really bad anxiety, but I couldn't place how severe, or when it got severe. I just knew that it was severe. So I got originally diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder probably back in the beginning of October of 2021. And it's now October of 2022. But as time went on, while I was in therapy, we started to notice that there was like a trend that my anxiety would get extremely severe, and I'd have some depression and irritation that would get extremely severe, probably always around my cycle, the 3 or 4 days before my cycle, and then going into my cycle, that would always subside a couple days into my period. And so we would start to track it, and it would always happen that same time every month. A few days before my cycle would start, my symptoms would act up, and then they would slow down as soon as my period would start. And once my period started, everything kind of calmed back down, and I would still have some anxiety the rest of the month, but my depression would usually go away, and the irritability would go away, and my anxiety for the rest of the month would usually be more situational. If I had anxiety, it could be explained by a stressful week at school, a stressful week at work. I could explain why my anxiety was really bad for that time period. But my symptoms always got extremely bad for that same time period every month around my cycles. So with PMDD, I believe for the diagnosis, you have to have it for most of your periods. So we tracked it for 6 months, and you have to have 5 out of 11 symptoms. I'm going to see if I can remember them all, but what I don't remember, I will make sure I link the symptoms down in the description. But you have to have 5 out of 11. Mood swings, irritability, anxiety, depression, appetite changes, hypersomnia, insomnia, and you have to have like extreme physical symptoms, those are the main ones I can think of. I struggle with the insomnia, the hypersomnia, insomnia, the anxiety, irritability, mood swings, physical symptoms are the main ones that I struggle with. But I will link the link down below that describes all 11 symptoms. And what differentiates this from PMS is the severity. My mood swings, the anxiety and depression are like debilitating. Like, it can cause issues at work or at home when people just don't know why you're okay, and then the next day you're not. You're just so upset, and you can't put a finger on why you're so upset. There's really no trigger behind it, or you're so angry, but you can't put a finger on why you're so angry. Some treatments that can help are birth control. I'm on birth control, which definitely helps me know kind of when it's coming, so I can try to kind of plan things around that. If some things you just can't reschedule, or you always have to go to work, but I can try to plan extremely stressful things to not be around my times where I'm extremely irritable, extremely anxious and depressed. They can put you on SSRIs, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. I'm currently taking Zoloft. They started me out on 50 milligrams, but I also take Wellbutrin for the because that helps with my anxiety for when I'm not, my more of like situational type panic and anxiety. So those are kind of the treatments that I know of. I think Zoloft and Paxil are what they usually start you with. And with the Zoloft, they can either do what they call intermittent dosing, where they can just start you a few days before your cycle and stop the dosing at the end of your cycle. But since mine is more documented and on the more severe end, they want me to do more continuous dosing, so it's more built up in my system to hopefully help with the severity of my symptoms. So we'll see if it helps. And I just want to make this video because I don't really know anyone with PMDD, so I wanted to put this information out there. So I hope this was helpful. See you next time.